Hey, it's Jeff McNichol down here at Mom's Music, 1900 Melwood Avenue. And I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the magic was at Frankfort Avenue, the Mom's Music at Frankfort Avenue. And I used to beg people to get a ride down there just to hang out with the guys and see all the cool gear. Now that I'm the owner of this store, it's like a dream come true. We're recreating the magic with the vibe that we used to have at the old store. We're carrying all the gear that you're going to possibly want. We're giving you the outstanding service and personal attention that you deserve. Yeah, so we've got the great guitar shop here. We're carrying USA Fender, USA Gibson, Paul Reed Smith, Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel, anything you could possibly want, we're going to have it for you. Mom's is and always will be Louisville's music store.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I am your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now let's get this show on the road. Hey, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. I'm Mark Jackson. I'm your host. Wow. Hopefully y'all have been great. It's been an interesting last week for me. This week on the show, I have Nightfyre from Munster, Germany, Northwest Germany. Awesome band. I hope you dig them because they're fucking awesome for sure. We're going to check in with them here in just a few. We're going to play some music. You know how the show goes. It's pretty much the same every week. We play a song, we do the interview, play a song out. Hell yeah. So, interesting last week or so. I got a new tattoo. It's an Orco tattoo. I'm a huge fan of Masters of the Universe. So this is the first color tattoo I've got in 20 years. Everything else I have is, kind of grayscaled, black and white. So that's an interesting experience to get back into because over the last couple of years I've got a few. But like I said, no color. But now, it's interesting. And I want to give a shout out to the artist who did it, Jared Spicer at Ageless Art Tattoo in Clarksville, Indiana. Hell yeah. If you're in the area, go see him. Go book an appointment with those guys. They do awesome fucking work. Super rad crew. Phil, Adam, Jared, everybody else in the studio. Sorry if I didn't drop your name. But yeah, super fucking rad people. For sure. Gonna keep it kind of lax this week because, like I said, it's been an interesting week. I've been kind of high-strung. I've been trying to stick to bullet points on a script, and I just didn't get a chance to write one this week because I've been so busy with my regular day job. Here I am down at the wire editing this show and, listening back and so on and so forth and uploading. It's just been really rough. Because, like I said, these guys are from Munster, Germany, which that's about 6 hours ahead of me here. So we had to record this past weekend. I hope you'll like it. I know you're going to like it because it's fucking rad. And awesome fucking first time German metal band here on the show. Question of the week. Last week's question was, what concert did you never think you were going to get to attend? And I had some awesome answers to this question. I've had Mick Watkins, got to see Van Halen with David Lee Roth. Super fucking rad. I've never got to see Van Halen, unfortunately. I like Van Halen. They're not really my cup of tea, unfortunately. I mean, I can listen to them. I don't turn the station or anything, so that's a good thing. But I'm glad he got to see them. And I want to give a big shout out really fast to Mick, and I hope he gets well soon. He and Tommy Blitz had an accident at their show before the Kentucky Derby. And I just, the Metal Forge is thinking of you too. Hopefully, you guys get better soon. Dieter Zimmerman, he got to see My Life with Thrill Kill Cult. Super rad. Never saw either of them, but hey, I bet it was awesome. For sure. Brett and Mike both said Fraley's Comet with all original members. Cool. And then also Mike said, too, that he got to see the Misfits with the original lineup. So, fucking, that's rad as shit already. Bex got to see Black Sabbath. Super rad. Lisa from White Crone got to see Kiss on the first reunion tour back in like 1996, where it was the original band getting back together in the makeup. So that's pretty cool. Alexis says Soundgarden. That's rad. Again, not really my cup of tea. I dig what they do. I've dug what they've done, I should say. Just not really ever got a chance to see them. Caitlin says Godsmack. Sweet. Saw them. Pretty cool. Belen from Ritual Moon says Roger Waters and the Big Four. And yeah, Roger Waters, that's a good one too. Darth Skippy actually got to see Pink Floyd. And Andrew McKnight says Toto. Super fucking rad answers for these, you know. Paulo says Manowar. Sweet. So many cool answers. Like, oh my gosh, there's like so many awesome answers. Mine is actually, I got a couple here. I've got Black Sabbath, which I never thought I would ever get to see, you know, when I started learning how to play my instrument. I was like, you know, I really would love to see them. And of course, you know, Ozzy was knee-deep in Ozzy shit at that point, and Black Sabbath really wasn't doing anything. Forbidden had come out a couple of years before that, and just didn't really happen. And then all of a sudden, bam, they did the reunion tour. And, well, first they released a reunion album, which came out, and we were just like, holy shit, that would be so awesome if they went on tour. And they did. And I got to see them that February of 1999. It was super fucking cool. The other one on my list was Motorhead. And I was just never in a place financially or stable enough in my life to see them when they would come near. They remotely close coming to town was usually about 2 to 4 hours away. And I never thought that I would actually get to see them live until, you know, and I did get to see them finally in 2015, and it was about 3 months prior to Lemmy's passing. So definitely. And the last on the list, you know, I'm gonna have to go with Belen here from Ritual Moon. She said Roger Waters, and yes, I got to see Roger Waters perform The Wall live back in 2012. It was a crazy situation where, as they say, got a wild hair and decided to go day of show and ask, you know, I went straight to the box office at like 10 in the morning, and this was on a Sunday night show. Okay, I went at like 10 in the morning. It's when the box office opened, and I was just like, you know, I wonder if they've got any tickets. And they had 2, and I ended up buying 2 tickets. They were $100 a piece, and I was gonna take a friend of mine. Luckily enough, I didn't, and I ended up taking my drummer Donnie at the time. And it was probably the raddest experience I'd got to have at a concert, because I was always a huge fan of The Wall growing up. And it's such a magnanimous album that I have to be in a particular headspace to be able to listen to it. Because if I am not in that headspace, it legit sends me into a depression. And it's difficult, but I still love that album to this day. And usually once a year I can pop it on, and ironically enough, it's for some stupid reason. It's always around September, but regardless. Anyway, how about this week's question, which is going to be, what artist just doesn't connect with you no matter how hard you try? Who is that for you? You know how to do it. Comment below on the post when I make it. Send me the message, metalforgeradio@gmail.com. Send them to me. We're going to check them out, and we'll check it back next week. Make sure you guys are clicking the links to the bands below, the official websites, the Bandcamp pages, the YouTube pages, the Spotify playlist. Without being able to play shows, this is the only way these guys can make any kind of money. So please click those links, show your support, and help these people out, because they are the ones that need it the most. Also, thank you to the sponsors, Mom's Music, Maxwell's House of Music. Go get your gear from those places. Check out Bert, Bobby, Brooks, Howard, and Mike at both of the stores. Click the links, momsmusic.com, maxwellshouseofmusic.com. I also want to say, anywhere you can get this podcast, you can get the Wrestling Steve Show, the It's Gonna Get Weird podcast, and the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. So please, after you're done listening to this show, listen to these people as well. They have great content, super fucking rad people. Check them out. Also, Better Days Records, if you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, or you can click below, they have a Discogs page for some really cool, rare shit you can find. So check out Better Days Records. All right, Metalheads, I'm being joined on the line right now with Nightfyre from Germany, and we've got the whole band here today, guys. How are you all today?
Fine. Saturday evening, some beer, some metal.
Yeah,
Nice.
Thank you for having us.
Dude, thank you all for coming on. Why don't we go around the room here and introduce ourselves?
Yeah, I'm Christoph. I'm the lead guitar player, Nightfyre, playing guitar for 12 years or something like that. Did not start the band, joined later when the other dudes already made some music a couple of weeks, but since then, we did our music for the last 7 years, 8 years.
7 years, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm David. I sing for Nightfyre and play the rhythm guitars. Yeah, it's actually, we started the band, bring out an EP, a demo, an album, an EP, and another EP. Now we are just having a good time, and hopefully we can play again soon. Hopefully, yeah.
Hello, my name is Friedi. I'm the drummer. I think David and me, we started when we started, David. I don't know.
2013.
13,
Yeah.
yes. I know David, this young guy, and I know him a long time and see him with in the audience of my other old thrash metal band, and I think I need a new band, and then I ask him, and so it starts, yeah. Or what?
Yeah.
What do you say, David?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. I remember your message on Facebook. 2013, yeah, you messaged me, are you up for a heavy metal project? And I was like, hell yeah. What are you waiting for? And so we jammed about 5, 6, 7 times. And Friedi told me, I know a guy, he plays guitar. What's his name? Christoph. And I was like, bring it. And we met the first time with 3 people. And we were like, yeah, that's Nightfyre. Let's start it.
Right on. I'm looking here on the Metal Archives, which I do consult a lot because it shows here, and as we see 3 members, there's no bass player right now. That kind of hurts.
So,
I'm a bass player. That kind of hurts, man. No. I'm kidding.
Well, we actually had a few bass players, but since this position has been, there have been many different guys who played bass with us and also do play bass with us live, that they just came in like for live playing. And after recording, or when we recorded our first album, we just we realized that Nightfyre is just us 3 people, since we've been doing that for around 4 years at that time. So we said, no, we don't want another 4th man in our group here for whatever reasons, because it would also be unfair, because every decision we made up to then, it was always us 3, and we all had the same opinion always on every single topic. So it would also be unfair for a 4th guy to join our band in that way. And we could then tell him, we want to do this, we want to do that, and he could say yes, or he could say no. And if he would say no, it would make no difference at all, because we 3 already decided on everything we wanted to make. So during the recording of the album, we took the step and said, okay, Nightfyre is officially just us 3 guys, and we've got some friends who do the bass playing when we do live gigs. But actually on the recordings, it was us who played the bass. I think I played some songs, David played some songs, and our producer also played some songs on the bass.
That's really cool. I mean, I get that. And, being personally a member of a 3-piece band, yeah, there's nothing better than having that 1, 2, 3 kind of kick over, where there's always a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
When you have band meetings and nobody gets really split on anything, it's like, well, I think we should do this. Well, I think we should do this. So-and-so, what do you think? And then it's like, well, there it is. There's nothing that doesn't get shelved because of 2-on-2 kind of stuff. Yeah. Which I totally get that. That's a good idea.
The funny thing is actually there is no need for a tiebreaker at all during any decision, because one of us just make the decision and says, let's do it this way, and everyone cheers, yeah, fucking great, we do it like that, it's the best thing ever.
That's actually really cool, though, because I'm looking here at the past members, and I see some bass players, and then I see some live bass players, and it's like, I get it. Bass players are kind of hard to come by sometimes, especially good ones. Back in 2015, you all released Live High, and in 2019, you all did From Fortune to Ruin, and now you're coming out with Shattered Lands.
Exactly, yeah.
Tell me about the new EP.
It was probably the first songs we have ever written at home in our homes. Like, online home studio recordings. It was a big step for us. It was a big challenge for us, but we made it in some kind of way. We have never ever played one of the songs except for Lady in Black, but we have never played these songs live. We rehearsed one or 2 months ago for the first time these songs, and we felt it. We felt the songs. We were like, Friede and me, we played at home 1-2 songs, and we were like, yeah, that's cool. Schweiker came up with another song, and we were like, yeah, let's do an EP. We went to the studio to our producer Peter, who also produced the album From Fortune to Ruin in 2019. And
you can say Peter is the fourth man of our band. Yeah, he knows.
Actually, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows us. I think when we meet Peter,
It was
4 years.
2014. Yeah, no, 14.
Yes, he was the live sound technician in a venue, and we meet him, and and this is the way he comes to Nightfyre, and he knows us. He's a bass player, a very good bass player, I think, and this is how it works. Peter is a producer, and he bring us together. Yes, we have the ideas and make a pre-production of our EP, and I think we have to tell you why we have to do it in this way. We are based in Munster. It's a city in North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany, in the center, if you know. In the middle. Without mountains. It's only Christoph left Munster for work, and he lives in the south of Germany, and I think how many kilometers are between
400.
400.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yeah. And this the decision was clear when we recorded From Fortune to Ruin. We know that Christoph left Munster to the south, and we decided to do it in Wissen.
We decided to keep the band going, and we knew then, since we couldn't rehearse every week and meet up and write new songs, that we would have to do it virtually on the internet. So since you can see, From Fortune to Ruin, between the first EP and the first album was quite a lot of time. So the songs on the album were written during that time and also were played many, many times live. So we knew the audience wants our songs, they like them. And after the album, I had to move away, so we couldn't write more songs during rehearsals. When we did rehearsals, we just did them in front of a live gig, so we could play live, but we couldn't write really new material, so we were forced to just improvise. Actually, Lady in Black, we wrote that song together. The two guys, they visited me in the south of Germany for a weekend. They had their e-drums, and we had some kind of audio in the computer, and everyone had headphones on, and we were in this room, and everyone and that's when Lady in Black was written. But the other songs, it was the first time that we had to sit down and think, what do you want to write? It's not just like riffing off in the room and that's cool, play it like that. No, it's just sit down and actually think, what do you want to write a song about? What do you want it to listen to? And then we did the pre-production. Everyone recorded stuff at home.
Except me.
Except you. and then we would send it back and forth and just minor adjustments and play it like that and a bit more of that. And so songs really got in shape during constant internet communication. In the end, when we thought, okay, the song's finished now, then our producer Peter came in. He listened to it and said, yeah, do it like that. And he also met with Friedi in the rehearsal room and said, okay, the guitars are clear, vocals are clear, everything about the drums. What do we do without the drums? And they sat down in the rehearsal room and actually wrote, they wrote the drums, the drum tracks. So in a way, this upcoming EP is a bit more technical or philosophical. Philosophically speaking, we did think more about what our music should sound like. It was not just improvising in the rehearsal room.
Definitely. So it sounds like pretty much from the beginning that you all had been doing this virtual writing process over the last few years, as opposed to most bands got pushed into that over the last year.
Yeah, well, actually, we started around, last year, up to 2 years. We just started. We had the date for the studio, and we hadn't finished the songs. So we had, we've got 3 months for the studio. Now go write some music at home.
Yes, we had to make a decision. Yeah, Nightfyre were broken when we don't do this virtual, digital kind of band living, or Nightfyre will shut down. So we decided to do this way, and we worked on it. I think directly 1 or 2 years after From Fortune to Ruin, it was clear by the records of From Fortune to Ruin that Schweiker will left our city. So it was a slow process to learn it. I think it was a very trial and error to do this. Yes, for us, we are not the professional producer which learned Cubase and all the technician stuff. So it was a slow process to write the songs. And this is the way how we wrote the songs for the EP.
All right, hang out, guys. We're going to take a real quick break. We're going to come back.
Hey, guys. Wrestling Steve of the Wrestling Steve Show here. So if you're currently listening to the Metal Forge with Mark Jackson, then you understand that Mark Jackson has a pretty discerning taste when it comes to music as a whole. You'll also understand that he has a discerning taste for professional wrestling, just like me. My show is called the Wrestling Steve Show. I talk about modern and classic pro wrestling in a completely unbiased, unfiltered way. Be sure to check me out on all available podcasting platforms. That is the Wrestling Steve Show, and I am the host, Wrestling Steve. Just remember, like Confucius said, man who goes through turnstile in Thailand is going to Bangkok. Pro wrestling.
Hey, are y'all in a band? Do you need merch for shows? By now I'm sure you've seen all the Metal Forge patches that are available, along with many more. Well, the printer I use for those is UKR Patcher. Check them out on Facebook and Etsy. They do awesome custom work and for extremely affordable prices for any band budget. Check them out, UKR Patcher on Facebook and Etsy. So you have a title track for this EP. It's called Shattered Lands. Tell me about that track.
So yeah, about Shadowland is one of the example songs. I wrote it just where I'm sitting now. I got my guitar here and got my headphones on and just. And actually, I had the intro solo of the song, and first I thought that would be the intro for the whole album. Since we had an intro for our first album, we also wanted an intro for this EP. Did the solo at the beginning of Shadowlands, and I told the guys here, I wrote this, what do you think? It's a great intro solo. And they said, oh no, that's way too good for an intro. Yeah, just write a song. And
they're way too good for an intro. It can only go down from there if it's an intro, right?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
So actually 80% of the time writing that song was just the intro, and then Petey said, do something, and I just said, okay, what about this? Okay, that's great. And the song was written.
Definitely. And Shattered Lands was just released here, about 3 weeks ago or so?
Well, for us, the release date is just where we went the studio quite here about a year ago.
June.
No, it was in end of May last year. We went in the studio for 4 days, 3 days, 5 days.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was quite quick, and we got the first master already in June. So to us, the album was finished around June.
Oh wow! So so you all have been sitting on this for a year at this point.
Yeah.
it took quite a time to get during Corona and everything, the rest of the processing an album, contacting with a label, and I think what took us the long time was the cover of the
artwork.
The artwork. It's we were in contact with.
Greetings to the old school crew from Bulgaria. Hi guys.
Hey guys.
And they took about 3 or 4 months to finish it up finally. So there was a lot of delay time there.
Definitely. You said the old school crew is who did the artwork for this?
Yeah, they are called the old school crew. Yeah.
Nice.
They also make cover artwork for festivals and other bands, and they're pretty big.
Absolutely. You know, I'm really digging the continuity between the two albums, actually, with the artwork, because if you get the first album, it's the blue cover where it has the the three like meteors or comets, whatever you want to call them, coming down into the atmosphere, and then with the cover for Shattered Lands, they're still coming down into the atmosphere, but you actually see the mountain and like the raging river and the barren wasteland type stuff on there, which is super fucking cool to me.
Yeah, that was our intention. The fun thing is about the album cover of From Fortune to Ruin. It was also Peter, our producer, and we were in the area in a room. And we thought about what will the cover be, and he said, I know some guy that he can do it for you, but what do you want to have? And we just said, what about 3 meteors coming down to Earth? And he actually just took a blue pen, some piece of paper, and just scribbled something up, and we said, it's cool. And actually it looked a lot like the cover, the finished cover. And about the finished cover, some good feedback we had is when you see the cover, you have no idea what kind of music you will be coming. You see the logo, so it's something metal, but just plain looking at it, it could be, I don't know, some weird tech metal or something progressive, maybe with a keyboard, God forbid.
God forbid, yes.
What do you think when you see the cover of Shattered Lands?
When I see it, I think, looking at and listening to you guys already, I kind of already know what I'm getting into, but it definitely seems like it's going to be heavy, but I don't think it's going to be heavy like as in like a death metal or black metal heavy.
Perfect.
Because that's the thing with artwork for me is I've always said the artwork has to be somewhat matching to the album, because I've always said that Molly Hatchet is theft by deception in rock music and metal music, because they have this awesome Death Dealer Frank Frazetta artwork. It's southern, American southern rock. It's like Leonard Skinner with like a power metal cover, and it doesn't work for me. And I own a copy of that album only because I love Frank Frazetta's artwork. And they have they have like 3 or 4 albums with Frazetta artwork. Yeah, actually, I would never have guessed that this was not the person I thought of when I saw it, because there is a guy that I follow on Instagram, Wormwalk.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wormwalk. He does so much awesome artwork, but it looks just like this, and it's super cool because I was like, I wonder if he did that, and no, he didn't. You've released a blue and black marble version of it. You've released a white wax version of it as well. That seems to be the thing in a lot of metal today, is we really, as metalheads, we supply to a collecting market, I think. Because, you get like the church recordings of things like Haunt and Beastmaker and all of the bands that he has produced. Trevor, that is. It'll come out like on a splatter. It'll come out on a pinwheel. It'll come out on straight black vinyl. There'll be like some, and then you got like the Shadow Kingdom Records releases of things where they'll have like a gold vinyl, a dragon breath. I mean, is this what it is these days? That we do this for a collector, where we try to have people collect each color vinyl of things?
I think we have to split in the view from the labels and view from the bands. possibly some of the labels want to sell as much as possible. So they want to bring out 5, 6, 7, 8, or even 10 different versions of the same record in like the blue vinyl, the red, the green, the golden, I don't know. You know, every kind of colors. And for us, it's just like a piece of art. We don't think like, we have to produce 2 different kinds of LPs to sell 2. No, it's just the fittings to the album. We talked to Chris, the chief from our label, and he was like, what kind of color do you want? And we were like, we don't know. Possibly some of the artworks, like white for the meteors, they were right in the artworks. And he was like, but what do you think about the blue marble black? Well, so it's just a final piece of art for the album.
For sure.
It fits with the artwork, and it's not only for us, it's not a business kind of view, but I think that possibly there are a lot of labels just wanting to make as much as possible, to sell as much as possible. But for really, possibly for every band, it's just a piece of art.
Yeah, it's something to enhance the storytelling, where I think we all have the thing where when we started listening to music, we sit here and we pick it up and we look at it and we're just like taking in all of the intricacies of the artwork, and with a different color vinyl to match that artwork, it adds an extension to the storytelling in a way, because it's something new. It's not everything has to be on a black vinyl, or not even just a transparent vinyl at this point.
Yeah. When we tell you the truth, we're very excited and happy that we have the choice of 2 colors. Yes, we go to the record label and say, "Hi, do you want our record? Here is it. What do you think?" And he asked us, we make it, we do it. And which colors do you want? And we say, "What? 2 colors?"
so the first question.
Wow.
Yes, and how many? Yeah, so you see us as 3 guys. We are interested in heavy metal. We do our band, and it's our big love to do this. Yes, what the labels and about the selling of the music, it's not our motivation to do this. Yes, and we are happy to get what we get. So it was a very special thing to have the choice between 2 colors. So this is we think, wow, it's cool to do this. Yeah.
No, I can agree with that, and I can relate to it.
So for the vinyl colors, we already thought it would just be black, like the normal vinyl color, and then something like with the album, something label exclusive with a bit more extravagant colors. Then actually the label boss came to us and said, "Okay, we'll do white. And what do you think about black, blue, marble? I don't know, maple, marble." And we were like, marble. And we were just like, okay. We thought it would be just black in another color, but then you get marble and also white. Actually, he just sent us a PDF with around 40 possible colors, and you said, choose your color. And we were just like, wow, yeah. And I think about, if you buy an album, you can buy it on black, but when you can buy it with the color, it's always cooler, more cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of the things I've been working in a record store here in Louisville over the last few months, and one of the things that I've realized when I've done some of these metal orders to bring in more metal into the store is everything that's pressed on black vinyl is usually the rare vinyl for this. You'll have like 250 copies pressed on black, but you'll have 500 pressed on marbled red or splatter or something like that. So it makes, when you order a copy that's like, it's back on the black vinyl, but they're not doing that many of them, which I think that's kind of a cool thing.
I think that's for the buyers who don't really care about, I need the rarest edition and I need all the special edition. I just want one that looks cool, and then I'll do the splattered one and not the normal vinyl, just one color.
Right, definitely. All right, guys, let's take a real quick break. Let's come back. Let's talk about some live show stuff.
Hey, it's Mark Maxwell at Maxwell's House of Music. Listen, all this stuff is now available to purchase on our website. Check it out at maxwellshouseofmusic.com.
We carry all the top brands, like Fender.
We got Gibson.
We also have basses.
We've got ukuleles.
We got drums.
We've got sound gear.
We've got keyboards.
Hi, this is Frank Green from the It's Gonna Get Weird podcast, a podcast I host with Scott Clark. You're gonna get everything you need on the podcast. Lots of laughs, lots of music, some sports, and maybe some inappropriate shit. Usually that's Scott's forte. Check it out. It's Gonna Get Weird. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and everywhere you get your podcasts online. It's Gonna Get Weird.
I'm gonna put my foot right in your ass. Oh! Hey!
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hey, guys, so give me an instance here where it was kind of like a blown-away moment for a live show for you all.
We have a story. We have a story in this case. We were asked from one of the, possibly the biggest founder of one of the coolest and biggest metal festivals in Germany.
The coolest underground, traditional heavy metal festival.
And he asked us if we could, like, the festival was on a Saturday and it was Friday, and he messaged us like, hey guys, one of the bands can't do it tomorrow. Can you guys play it tomorrow? And we were like, shit, that's not possible. That's not possible. We would love to do it, but it's not possible. And he was like, okay, no problem. On Sunday, he asked us, but for next year, it's safe. And you have to note, it's one of the most important festival organizers in Germany with the coolest festival in the country. And he asked us for next year is great. And I was so in shock that I told him, yeah, I have to talk with the others first.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, is it Keep It True?
Yeah.
Shout out. I knew it.
Shout out to Oliver.
Yes, definitely give shout outs to that, because that's awesome, because they have so many awesome bands that come through. Like, look, anybody wants to take a look at the 2019 flyer. You know, you had Midnight, you had Idle Hands, Saber, Witchfall, and it was obviously the tribute to Mark Shelton. And I totally get it. So many awesome bands, and there's quite a few of them, you know, like Agent Steel, and that's fun. I mean, it's fun.
And now just imagine him, the organizer and founder of the festival, getting a message from Nightfyre telling him, I'll talk with the other first. And I didn't even realize what I've written to him. And the others were like, what the fuck did you say, man?
You always say, when it comes to something like that, you always say yes. I'm actually going to have to get, I'm going to have to get my,
now I know it.
I'm totally going to have to get my passport in line, because I'm going to have to go to next year's. Since the EP had just come out, you were done with it a year ago. I mean, are you all currently writing something new right now, or what are you all doing now? What's coming next?
Well, we actually already booked the studios for up in a year from now, so we definitely should start writing new songs.
Thank you for reminding us.
Nice. Well, Christoph, I want to give you a good shout out for that, because you just said we booked the studio for a year from now. Yes. That is awesome to me, because I think if you don't have a goal in mind, then you're just going to sit there and fester, and you're not going to be able to continue what you're doing. You're just going to sit there, and you'll when I get around to it one day kind of thing. If you set the goal of saying, all right, well, I'm going to book studio time, I'm going to book this CD release show, and so then you kind of put yourself on a goal. You have to sit there and be like, well, now I have to get this done.
But no pressure up to now. I think for the EP, we went to a studio in May, and I think Far From Home and Shadowlands, and also Haunted by Fire, the last song, I think we wrote them around February, March. So just 2 months ahead of the studio time, we actually finished the song. So we still got a lot of time, and also we actually have, I think, 1 or 2 songs already, which we want to bring on to the next album, which we've played live, but which did not make it on the last album or on this EP. And it was also, actually one of the songs we played it live for 1 or 2 times. And it's a really catchy one. There's a live version on YouTube. But around the studio, we kind of forgot about it. and then we also forgot about that the song ever existed. And actually, a few weeks ago, when I was back in Munster, and we just keep jamming for a weekend. David and I, we were drinking beers late at night and watched our old live footage on YouTube.
You can't tell this, man. You can't tell it.
And we found the song, and we just thought, wait a second, that is our song.
We literally watched every Nightfyre live video that's on YouTube. And we were like, what the hell happened to that song? What the hell happened? We didn't even play it ever again. So that's what's really great. Yeah.
You know, that's always an interesting concept to me with when we do this as independent musicians, you know, when we do stuff like that. But I want to know what Iron Maiden does when they do shit like that, because you know they do it too. They have to. Yeah. Or Metallica, sure, yeah. Like when they were recording Saint Anger, and they had recorded like 35 songs, and 11 of them made an album. I want to know what happened to the other songs that what they just kind of vaulted, you know.
Exactly.
So so I know when we do it, it's something. It's like, hey, whatever happened to that? And when you know, so I do like to ask some general questions about you guys as people, because I look at the metal community to be family. We all have a love for one another's bands. So these are all about you guys. Metalheads generally, like I said, are eclectic people. Earlier in the interview, when we were talking about the vinyl collection of like different colors. So other than that, what do you collect personally?
I'm a very big Godzilla fan. So I've got like every Japanese Godzilla movie on DVD. I think I've got two ones missing. I've also got some on Blu-ray. I've got 3 Godzilla statues, the small ones that are just and I've got 4 T-shirts.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm a Godzilla maniac.
Hey, that's awesome. I'm actually watching a guy on YouTube make a Mecha Godzilla costume.
Awesome.
I'm collecting my concert tickets. And the booklets of the concerts I looked at. I think I have most of every concert ticket I visit, and I think I have a lot of very special booklet recordings from my first concert I've ever been. So this is for me very special to have them, because it goes back, I think, 20 years.
Wow.
And 25 years, and I have it, and I don't hear it often, but I can say I have it.
For sure. Yeah, because hey, I agree with that, because I collect my ticket stubs as well. I'll go through them occasionally, and I'll see one, and I'll be like, wow, that was a good show.
Yeah.
It brings back like all the memories of it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Perhaps this is the reason why when we organize the show, we produce our own tickets.
Right.
So
we still have hard print tickets at our shows.
Yes,
yeah. You can get one.
Yes,
and even if you buy on the internet, when you come to the venue, you get your own printed ticket. So
yes, because it's very important.
It is
to have a good design ticket. Yeah. It's perhaps.
Sure.
It is. It adds a special quality to the experience, especially in a world where everything is digital, and you can get digital concert tickets to these major shows and festivals. To have an actual printed deal, yeah, I get that. So, what do you collect, David?
I'm actually not kind of collector guy, but I collect
Tinder matches.
Limited. What the fuck? I collect vinyls from bands that are friends with us. Like they give personally to me, like vinyls with autographs. And I have to say, I collect the Nightfyre backstage passes.
Nice. Well, yeah. What are you currently reading?
Reading? Like a book?
Yeah.
On my table, there's actually a Warhammer 40k book about the Dark Angels. I know it's a bit nerdy, but it's just explosions and big robot army guys fighting to death. And when you come home from work at the evening, you don't want to read something that
you don't want to read the news because the news sucks everywhere.
Yeah, and I don't want to read something with long words or hard words. I just want total war. Yeah.
I'm so tired at this time that I don't have time for reading. And when I'm reading, I will read something about being dead. some stuff from my kids. Yes, this is what I'm reading now.
Right on.
I'm not sleeping.
About being a dad, not being dead, no?
Yes, dead to being a dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to say Freddie is the first Nightfyre guy becoming a dad.
Well, that's awesome, dude. And the metal family lives on.
In 18 years, we will have our bass player.
or a better drummer. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's great.
And what are you reading, David?
Shame on me. Shame on me.
Playboy?
Right now, I'm actually reading nothing, but I'm waiting for the next Dan Brown novel. So let's wait a few years.
Right. Either or. Sabbath or Zeppelin?
What's the second?
Zeppelin. Black Sabbath or Led Zeppelin.
Sabbath.
What the fuck? I'm in the wrong band. I'm getting to you guys. Definitely Zeppelin. What the? Okay, yeah. We have to talk later, guys. We have to talk later.
Oh, now they're going to get... Now somebody's going to be drunk watching YouTube later of Zeppelin videos to try and convince you.
Not Zeppelin, maybe Greta Van Fleet.
Right. Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin light.
What would you say, Sabbath or Zeppelin?
Me? I'm a Sabbath fan. Sabbath.
Yeah.
Sorry, David.
Hey, I like Zeppelin. Don't get me wrong. I really do like Zeppelin. I don't know. I kind of like later Zeppelin though. Like,
I think my decision on Sabbath is because there exists no metal song which Sabbath don't wrote before. There's no riff, no kind of a song. They do it before.
Definitely, for sure.
True.
Who do you wish you never saw live?
Well, I once saw Exodus at the Partisan, and the sound was just so bad. I don't know if it was the sound or the beer or this, but it's they played Bonded by Blood, and it took to the chorus till I recognized the song, because before that it was just it just wasn't great.
Who was singing for them at that time?
Or I don't know. I think it was 2016 to 17 when they've been there.
Oh, so it was recent then.
Yeah.
So it was Zetro again. Okay.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. Yeah. So that was Zetro again. What about?
Countless local small bands, which are really good. No, not calling any names, but
no, I get what you mean. There's
going to a local show and just
yeah. There's some that are terrible. I get that. Freddie, who do you have?
I think it's a very difficult question because I think no, I can't give you an answer because perhaps I don't want it to do this, because I'm thinking that no band is playing motivated as so. No, sorry, please cut it. I can't do it in English.
No, I get you. Yeah, no, you're good.
I think no band will go to stage to give me some shit. So
right.
I think it's a point of view that this is I think that I want to find the good in all people to go on stage, and I pay the money. I think everybody have a shitting day or something like this, and yes, I saw many bad shows, but I think when you go on stage,
they're still trying,
and it's not motivated to give me some bad shows. So
right.
I think I hope every musician do the best on stage, and perhaps they have a hangover, a bad day, or I don't know. So I can't answer. I give you an answer.
Absolutely.
I can't do it.
I get it.
Actually, never been to a concert thinking like, what the fuck I'm looking at. I can't remember a gig. I wish now I hadn't seen it. No, actually.
Awesome. I think when you see a band and it don't works, so I get my friends and go to the bar to drink some beer. So I have a great time. So I think in Germany we have a little problem in the last years that the audience and the heavy metal fans are overdosed. Yes. So you go to a concert and they say, "Oh, I see them in the 80s. This was the real shit, and now they are not good." Yeah. So I don't like this attitude to hear the music. If I don't like them and I know they are not good today, I don't go to the concert. So it's okay. But what happens is that they are overdosed. Yeah. And
right.
Don't give the respect to the musicians, what they do, you don't have to like everything. So it's your decision to go to the concert or not. So I think it's your own problem to see. I know there are times bands play not as good as you think about, but I think I don't want to say they do it with intention. Yeah,
for sure. All right, we're going to take a real quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to finish this up with Nightfyre from Munster, Germany, here at the Metal Forge.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
What food can you not stand?
Vegan food.
You know what? That is an extremely popular answer.
Yeah. First thing came to my mind.
Sorry, not sorry. Avocados, possibly. I hate them.
I think I eat everything. Yeah. This is, if you get yes, I don't like fish. Okay, fish. I'm not a fish friend. No, fish is not mine.
Any of it at all? Like no seafood at all?
No. If you keep in mind that fish are peeing into the sea, yeah, I don't want to eat them.
Fair enough. What band do you like that none of your friends like?
Possibly Greta Van Fleet. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends who say they're like, they're not cool. It's like they want to be Led Zeppelin, but they are not Zeppelin. Possibly Greta Van Fleet. Yeah.
Right on.
I think I'd say AC/DC. You know, many people say, just the same. I don't want to listen to AC/DC, but I like them. I can listen to them all day. It's repetitive, but it's repetitively cool, so it's okay.
For sure.
I think ABBA from Sweden.
Aside from the Greta Van Fleet, AC/DC and ABBA have been on the show before. That's cool. Definitely had those answers. That's good stuff. And I get it because they're both dependable bands, or groups, yeah. I should say, at that point. What is your most unpopular music opinion?
The greatest Iron Maiden albums were the first two.
Oh. Damn, shots fired on that one.
Yeah.
I think it's over now. You can say everything. It's okay. You can go.
Time to hang up the phone. No.
Ja.
Was war denn jetzt die Frage?
Eine unpopulärste Meinung, was Musik betrifft.
I actually believe that the albums like we know don't have any future. After Spotify and all the streaming companies get the music business in their hands, I actually believe that the future lays in singles, and that's sad. That's sad, but I believe that this will be in the future.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because on a few shows now, looking back through history in pop and rock music in like the 1950s and 60s, it was a very much single-driven business. You know, everything was everything was pressed on 7-inch, and that they were $1 a piece. And then when the 70s and 80s and 90s to just a few years ago, it was all album-driven stuff in rock music, where you released an album of material, not just like an album was 5 singles and 5 B-sides. it became an album-oriented business back in the 70s when, bands were releasing collections of songs like concept album stuff, when the prog aspect got into it. And it just kind of transpired into the way it was supposed to be done, like that, what we all take to heart in like 80s metal and stuff. And then here recently with the advent of Spotify and iTunes and all these streaming platforms and stuff, that it's become a single business again.
Yeah.
Or,
sure. Yeah.
or if not a single business, definitely an EP business, where you're not releasing 12 songs. You can release 4, 5, 6 songs and price it moderately and do really well doing it.
Yeah.
Lips from Anvil was on the show a couple of months ago, and he had said something to the similar. And he was like, if you release an album in January like we do, when, quote, awards season comes around, which is the following February, people have forgot about your album from last year, because if it's released in January, it feels like it was released 2 years ago by the time, critics are starting to hand out like, best album of 2020. They look at like the last 3 or 4 months of the year as opposed to the first.
Yeah.
So I absolutely get that. Also want to mention, always down below, the links are there for people to click on. Please click the links, support these guys in any way you can, because that's what matters, because nobody's playing shows. So listeners out there, follow Nightfyre, give them a like, a share, go buy some albums, go buy some merch, support these guys because they kick ass. And you've already heard one song, and you're going to always hear a second song here on the show. So before we go today, do you guys have any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
We would like to at first give a big shout out to our producer and big friend, Peter, who produced From Fortune to Ruin, Shattered Lands. A shout out to This Charming Man Records and Green Hell Records. And yeah, Christoph, maybe you know a few more.
Shout out to all our friends, all our supporters. Buy our stuff. Keep waiting for more. We're on it. We're on it. And keep supporting your local heavy metal scene. Go to concerts if they're available. And in the meantime, just listen to the music, support your bands, keep heavy metal alive.
Definitely.
Fire burns.
Yes.
Final question of the day: what album changed your life?
Head of the Pack from Skullfist. Definitely. It was the first album I listened to and thought to myself, I want to start a heavy metal band. And it was the first record I listened to, not lying, 5, 6, 7 weeks every day. On the way to the work, every single day I listened to the record from the first song to the last song. And for me, it will forever be Head of the Pack from Skullfist. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, for me, it must be Deep Purple, 30, the very best of. I can still remember to this day, I was a young boy. I was shopping with my family, with my mother, and we were in a big store, and she said, okay, you can go and you can have one CD. You can choose one CD. What do you want? And I went to the heavy metal section. I was, 10, 11 years old. And around to this day, I had the Motorhead Inferno in my hands. And I went to the mama and said, I want this one. She said, you just want it because of the cover. I said, yeah. And she said, no. Here, Deep Purple. I listened to that when I was a young girl. So here, get this Deep Purple CD. And I got the Deep Purple CD.
Nice. And that's actually a good Motorhead album, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to it a few years later then.
I think for me it was Kings of Metal from Manowar, because I hear it so many times. When I hear Crown and the Ring, it's I get tears in my eyes, and it comes a lot of emotions and remembering from the past. Yes, I think it's this one. Yeah.
Hell yes.
Kings of Metal. Kings of Metal. Yes.
Definitely. First person.
Are you talking about us?
Of course. First mention of Manowar on the show to album that changed your life. That's cool. So guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. Christoph, Freddie, David, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
I'm serious. I'm going to have to get my passport in line because I'm going to have to visit and see you guys live. Hopefully one day soon, maybe you all might be able to do an American tour.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
When and where?
Then, if you ask us, we have to talk. Yeah, we need an hour for discuss it if we have time to come to the US tour. Yes.
Yes.
you know how it works here. Yeah.
To any bookers, I will never write again that I will talk to the others. And all the bookers hearing this, just mail us. We will say yes.
Just send us the flying tickets. We will be there.
Yeah, just send us the flying tickets and some good beer, and we will be there.
Yes. Well, you might have to bring the good beer.
I think we at our last rehearsal we talked about what is the biggest dream we have. Or do you remember? I think one of it was to go with our friends at Nightfyre to the airport, take our instruments, to have a check-in, and take a flight to a concert. I think it's this is one of the biggest
of the remaining Nightfyre goals. Just play a gig where you need to be flying in.
Yeah, definitely. Hell yeah, for sure. Guys, again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Cheers to, the first German metal band here on the Metal Forge.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. I want to take a minute to remind you guys about the Patreon page. Over on the Patreon page, we have the tiers set up to support the production of the show. We feature the Down and Dirty, which is just $1. There's nothing special for that one. It just sends me a thank you because every dollar helps. Then there's the Double Down and Dirty. Much akin to the Down and Dirty tier, everything helps produce the show in the end. You make your presence known, and I appreciate that more than you realize. Thank you for being a dedicated friend and supporter of the Metal Forge. By selecting that tier, you will receive some cool Metal Forge stickers in your mailbox. Now, we're really going to start pounding the metal madness with the Apprentice Metalhead for just $5 a month. By becoming an Apprentice Metalhead, you'll be given early access to the shows, published 24 hours before everyone else gets it. You're also going to receive 3 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You're also going to receive a 10% discount on all Metal Forge merch, and you're going to receive a sweet Metal Forge patch for your battle jacket or backpack. And now, here is the big one. This is the Master Metalhead for just $10 a month. By becoming a Master Metalhead, you will receive a hand-numbered Metal Forge Master Metalhead membership card. You're going to be given early access to the shows as well, with 36 hours before everyone else. You're going to receive 5 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You'll be able to submit audio questions that I will use on the show of you asking questions to the upcoming guests. Remember, timing is everything, and you will need to keep up with the upcoming guest list on the website. You're also going to receive advanced knowledge of any new merch coming out and be given a 25% discount on all Metal Forge merch. And you're also going to get all of the other rewards from the other tiers. So visit patreon.com/Metal Forge Radio today and help support the Metal Forge. Rock on.